Programming on WCS-TV Channel 180 is made possible in part through donations from your McMinnville State Farm agents Lee Holland, Norm Barnes, Neil Helton, and Bill Seckman.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Warren County Coaches Show. I'm Shay Walker, along with Warren County Lady Pioneer head basketball coach Shay Painter. Shay, we're early in the season and getting ready to take on a team from the old District 7 days, Siegel, tonight at Charlie Dalton Gym. What are your thoughts up to this point in the season? How do you feel like your team has progressed?
Well, we knew that we were going to have to find a way to get ourselves going because we lost so much to graduation and everything like that, and we're still looking for our leader on the floor. So we've had games in the beginning, and especially against Lebanon and DeKalb, Cannon County, we had some people that showed sparks, that showed sign of leadership, and then unfortunately against Cumberland County, they decided not to use those skills I thought they had acquired so far. But, I mean, I think it's been rocky, but to be expected for the beginning of the season.
Yeah, you mentioned Cumberland County, the first district game. Of course, we got White County coming up before the holiday break. They showed why that they were picked to finish number one in the district by the coaches and the media. Mm-hmm. Their press was just relentless.
Yeah, like you said, we kind of ran into a buzzsaw from the very beginning. We knew it was going to happen and just didn't show up that night.
The good thing about it, if there's a silver lining, you got everybody in. You got a lot of youngsters in the game, and that's important that they get some game experience because it may not happen a whole lot.
Yeah, I think it's good, especially early on, later in the season when we get into district tournament, and if we go past that, if those kids have had experience throughout the season, then they can use that when they go into the game. They're not so scared. They know what to do. They're more confident in themselves. So, yes, if there was a silver lining to Friday, we were able to get everybody in and give everybody a chance at that defense.
Now, how do you keep a team and how do you keep yourself, your coaches, from losing their composure when it's such a lopsided score early on? How do you keep them in the game?
Well, we just try to make small goals along the way. One of our goals were to cut our turnovers down. We cut them in half in the second half. Another goal was to reach a certain point. We wanted to score 60 and keep them under a certain. You just make small goals to try to achieve them, to make them feel like the whole night isn't a failure.
You took your starters out early when the going got pretty tough and brought a whole new bench in, a whole new lineup. And then later, you brought the starters back in, and it looked like a switch came on. They started executing like they're supposed to.
Yeah, they definitely didn't like having to sit down that early, but we did that this summer. We were playing in a camp at Belmont, and they weren't leading like starters should be leading. Put the bench in. The bench did amazing. They played the whole rest of the second quarter, and the third quarter. And it really doesn't matter to me, starter, number 10 girl off the bench. Whoever's going to show up that night and compete and give all they got, that's who's going to play in the game.
Well, let's talk about some positive things. Now, we had DeKalb County in here. We had Cannon County in here. Some good games here at home.
Yeah, those are always good. We bring a good gate. It's so close. It's kind of like a battle of the border. I think it's even been called that before. So it's good, especially opening up on that whiteout night and winning that first home game. It gets the community around us and get excited about basketball season.
Yeah, Cannon County, they didn't look like the Cannon County team we're accustomed to seeing. The perennial powerhouse. And it could be that Warren County helped make it look that way because Lady Pioneers are really on their game against them.
Yeah, they lost a lot of their outside scoring, and they have their best post player is out with a concussion until after Christmas. So they had a lot they were up against besides playing against us, and I think that we played well that night. So everything pointed in direction for a Lady Pioneer win.
And of course, DeKalb County also coming in here, and we've struggled against them in recent years, but another good showing by the Lady Pioneers, another complete game.
They're a scrappy team, and when you get a lead on them, you can't relax, and they showed that. Ashley Chu come in strong. I think she had 24, 27, something like that, and she's their only scorer. And if we had kept her in better check throughout the whole game, it would have been a bigger lead, but we did what we had to do in the end to pull out the win.
Yeah, Marley Smith had a 20-point night. She's really, talk about her a little bit. She's really coming into her own as a post player, not real tall. We're not blessed with a lot of tall people here, but she really is really, you can tell she's gaining confidence and ability.
And I think she's just been overshadowed over these years. You had Brittany Myers playing on teams, so everybody kind of looked to her. Kerrigan came back last year, everybody looked to her, and Marley just kept working while no one was paying attention, and this is her year to shine.
Of course, Sadie Winfrey, the point guard, she's been running the offense. How do you think she's been doing?
She does good. Sadie is not a natural point guard. She wants to be, and she was kind of put in that position. So even last year when I first took this job, we sat down and had a conversation about we're going to have 2 guards up front to relieve some of that pressure to you, and she was okay with that. And then this year she just kind of looks more comfortable in her shoes out there at point guard. She knows our offenses, and we've told her, you are our cool, calm head. When you're playing controlled, the team is in control, and I think she's wanting to accept that role this year.
And she looks more comfortable shooting as well.
Yeah, she didn't look for a shot a lot last year. This year we've told her, if you're open, take it. Even though I think her better game is driving to the basket, she's kind of still nursing a knee injury from the summer, so to keep herself on the floor, she's developed an outside game, and I'm good with it. Yeah,
Elsa Eckenrod, we saw her come on pretty strong at the end of last season, and she's taken up where she left off. She's really producing this year.
She wants to be. She wants to be our offensive momentum. She has that. If she's on fire, she's the one that's jumping up and down, trying to get everybody going. So far, I think she's kind of played a little streaky, but when she's on, and she's fun to watch.
Kristen Rowland, she played sparingly last year, but she's usually in the starting lineup this year, and she looks a lot more comfortable.
She is. We talked about roles, and she is our defensive person. We know that if we've got someone we've got to shut down or that can play in her position, we're going to put Kristen on them, because every night she's consistent about giving that defensive effort. And I think just by her knowing that going into the game, it takes the pressure off the rest of the game for her, because defense is such a strong suit for her.
And, of course, Allison Hitchcock, who made some good things happen last year. A little slow getting out of the gate this year, but against our most recent opponent, Cumberland County, she really showed some signs of life and looking like the old Allison.
Yeah, I would love to see Allison have a night where she's float around and drain it from outside. She's got such a smooth shot, and she had a really good practice yesterday, and I'm hoping that bleeds into tonight's game.
And you brought some young girls in. The Cathcart girl, Callie Cathcart, has seen some action along with the Patch girl, a freshman. How do you think they've been doing?
Our whole bench, besides Rylan had some limited minutes last year. Our whole bench is brand new to varsity this year. Yeah. So that plays into those tight games, because we don't have that depth. But Callie comes in, and she's just not afraid. She just goes. She's got that running jumper that it seems like every kid from Irving College learns how to do. And Patch is comfortable in her role as a shooter. We're trying to get her to be kind of a backup point guard for Sadie, because I think she might move into that spot next year, and just want her to learn under Sadie. Tyra is so big. She's intimidating when you watch her walk into the gym, and she's going to kill me when I say this, but her nickname's Gigi. It stands for the Gentle Giant. She really wants me to change it to the Gruesome Giant, but I'm just not convinced yet. But we're working on it.
Yeah, she looks like she could be dangerous when she gets more confidence and kind of comes into her own out there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of recognition for JV games, but for JV so far, you just put her in the game and she goes crazy. And when she goes up against those big girls like that girl from Cumberland, she's not met anybody at this level yet that's as big as her. So we're just trying to get her comfortable so that she can play for us later in the season.
Well, we're getting ready, as we said earlier, getting ready for Siegel. They're out here warming up right now, a team that we haven't seen in a long time. Then Friday night, as we tape this, we've got White County on the road. Before that, Coffee County on the road, and then White County. So some pretty interesting basketball coming up.
Yeah, we've got a busy week this week and next week, Jay, and we're ready to get it done.
All right. Well, Coach, congratulations on a good start so far. Best of luck against Siegel, and best of luck the rest of the way. We'll be talking to you another time.
Okay, thanks, Jay.
That's Coach Shay Painter, head coach of the Warren County Lady Pioneers. We'll be back in just a moment.
Programming on WCS-TV is brought to you in part by a donation from Robert Oliver Bratcher of the Stanley & Bratcher Law Firm, located at 100 West Main Street in McMinnville, Tennessee. Programming on WCS-TV is made possible in part by a donation from Security Federal Savings Bank, serving its customers with 3 convenient Warren County locations.
Welcome back to the Warren County Coaches Show. I'm Jay Walker, and we're joined right now by Chris Sullins, head coach of the Warren County Pioneer men's basketball team. Coach got off to a pretty good start here. Mixed results, but I think the fans like what they've seen so far out of the Pioneers, especially after the good effort against a good Cumberland County team.
Well, no doubt, Jay. We told people many times that this was going to be a process for our basketball team. We're now starting our second year in that. We've got a great group of young men. I think they play hard every single night. I told some people yesterday that if you come and watch us play basketball, you're going to get your money's worth. That being said, it may not turn out the way that we want it every night, but we've lost 3 basketball games here by 1 possession. We're 6 possessions away from being an 8-1 basketball team. And that being said, we don't use youth. We're not going to go down that road. But I think we have to learn to finish basketball games. I think we got to learn how to understand it's a 32-minute basketball game. We must stay focused for the entire 32 minutes.
Hey, the atmosphere has been electric here at Charlie Dawson Gym the last couple of ball games, last 3 home games. It's been the student section's been packed. They've been on their feet the whole game and really getting rowdy. And as we said, Cumberland County came in last year. They mercy ruled us, I think, twice, and they came in this year, and they were lucky to escape with a 2-point win. Well,
when we went to the district meetings, there was 3 teams that was picked to win the district, and that was Cumberland County, us, White County, and Cookeville. We told our young men right off the bat that we wanted to be in the district race. We had 10 basketball games in this district, and we expect to win 7 or 8 of them. At no point in time this year do we take a back seat to anybody. I think that last year, we don't talk about last year. We talk about previous experiences, but I do think those previous experiences have been some learning tools for us. Like you say, Cumberland County kind of had their way with us last year. And that being said, there were some teams in the district that may have their way with us, but we've got better. I think we're a better basketball team than we were this time last year. I think a lot of that has to do with we've grown. We've become more mentally tough. We've got a little bit more physically tough too. I think we're a bigger and stronger basketball team. Did a lot of work in the weight room the off season, and I think we're starting to see some of the benefits to the work that we're putting in. And that being said, we're not satisfied with other coaches or people in the community telling us that we're getting better. We want to put a winning product on this floor. But like you said, the people from Warren County, they have supported us from day one. They've supported our student athletes. Our student section is second to none. And feeling this gym is a good feeling at home. I will say this, when there's 2 or 3 seconds to go in the ball game and you can't hear yourself think, I don't know. We told some guys maybe we need to do the Peyton Manning where we kind of tell the home crowd to give us a second where we can kind of get some things accomplished. But that being said, you just love the atmosphere. It's a great atmosphere for high school basketball right now. Can't wait to see what we get from this year forward on into the next couple years.
We've had some great performances out of Isaac Golden and doing a great job running this team at point guard. Isaiah Grayson with a 29-point performance against DeKalb County, and then double figures against Cumberland County. And Trevor Gaines, the transfer student, with I think 24 against Cumberland County. So we're getting some really good efforts by a lot of people.
We are, and we told our young men early on that I thought we had 9 or 10 kids that could really contribute on this basketball team on a nightly basis. I thought we would have probably 7 to 8 kids that would lead us in scoring this year at some point in time. We do not want to be a one-option basketball team. We want to get a lot of people involved. We want opposing coaches to understand they've really got to go out and scout who we are. And I think that opposing coaches are telling us that you guys are on the right track. Isaac Golden has run our basketball team from day one when I walked in the door. He does a great job. To be honest with you, I probably played him too many minutes, to be honest with you. The other night, I think he was when you're having to give a young man water during the game and you're saying, I can't pull him off the floor, I need to do a better job of maybe controlling his minutes. But he's a young man that comes to work every day. Isaiah Grayson, it's amazing he's just a sophomore in about his 8th game because he plays well above his years. And honestly, he's took a jump up in level, and you have seen that, and I think the people of Warren County have seen that. And that being said, we can't wait to have him for the next 2 years and think he's going to be a part of a lot of victories going forward. Trevor Gaines is a young man that I'll tell anybody this. He's a great basketball player, but he's a better teammate. If you notice, just when he's on the bench, Jay, he's always involved in a basketball game. He wants nothing but the best for his teammates. He works hard every day. He's a vocal leader. He's the kind of young man that we want our young guys to look to and say, I want to model myself after that.
You as you said earlier, you play a lot of people. You play a lot of kids. One of them is Chance Hobbs. He's really come in and really produced the last couple of ball games.
Yeah, Chance Hobbs is a young man that came from our county basketball program that we knew the day he walked in the door as a freshman he could shoot the basketball. That's something he concentrates on. He puts a great deal of time and effort in. But also we told Chance there were some things that he needed to do to get better at to get a lot of minutes on our basketball team. He's picking it up on the defensive end, rebounding. The other night was the first situation he's been in where we wanted him to maybe on the floor to close a basketball game. I'll never forget what he told me. He said, Coach, it's really loud and there's a lot of people in this gym. And like I told him, those are the type of things that you just in some ways have to get used to. It's a learning curve, but we think Chance Hobbs is going to be a very good basketball player for us for the next 3 years.
Of course, Holden Baker, we can't leave him out. He's been around for a couple of years and really done a lot of good things for the Pioneers, and he's one of the more intense players out there.
Holden Baker's a young man. I've told many people when he walked in the door for us, he was a guy that he bought into our system. He wants to win basketball games. The thing that I think people don't realize about Holden, he's never been on a winning basketball team, and that's very important for him this year. He wants to have more wins and losses. That's something that we're trying to strive for this year, and we want to do that for Holden because he's put a lot of time and effort being the type of basketball player that Warren County can be proud of. We know he's got in-gym range. He's a kid that can flat out shoot the basketball. He's maybe struggled a little bit here lately with that, but he puts in a ton of work on a daily basis to make himself better, and we want Holden to go out on a positive note.
K'Ron Calvert is back this year after being injured all of last year, and I know you're still waiting for him to really come out and dominate. He looks like, and maybe we're putting too much pressure on him because of his size, but he looks like he could come out and dominate once he really applies himself.
Well, yeah, I would agree. K'Ron's a young man that, like you say, Jay, he's been through a lot. I mean, two ACL injuries in the past 2 years. That's really tough. I think K'Ron, as far as his athletic ability, when you watch him in the weight room and you watch him run the 40 and he's out there and you watch him throw a football and he throws a football 80 yards on the line and you see him bench press 365 pounds. But you still have to realize that K'Ron's not played a lot of basketball at the high school level. He's been injured. I think there's times we probably want too much out of him. I think we've got to let K'Ron be K'Ron, so to speak. But I do think before this all is said and done, K'Ron's going to be one of those forces that opposing coaches look and say, that's a young man we just can't stop.
And of course, Joella Solomon is back this year, and we had fun watching him last year and having fun watching him this year.
Joella's a young man that I would say is probably one of the hardest workers on our basketball team. He works his tail off every day. He's really did a good job of trying to enhance the weaknesses of his basketball game. He works on his ball handling. He works on his defense, and, his footwork and those type things. He's also just a junior, so we get 2 more years with him. Joel is a kid that when he puts his mind to it, really helps our basketball team, and excited to have him for the next 2 years.
A lot of basketball coming up, Coach. We got Siegel here tonight. Haven't seen them in a long time. Of course, they're a team. A lot of people remember we beat them. They were in the top 5, I think, last time. Not last time we played them, but the historic night where we beat them here at Charlie Dalton. That was a huge night. Had a huge rivalry. They kind of dominated it, but still, and it may have been more of a cheerleader rivalry. I remember that got pretty nasty, but it was a lot of fun. They had the big student section coming in, and a lot of the fans went back and forth. So I don't know that we'll see that tonight, but good having them back in here, and of course Coffee County and White County on the road coming up.
Yes, and like I say, it's a big week of basketball for us, and it's one of those nights we love bringing in Siegel. One thing that we said we were going to do, Jay, is we were going to toughen up our basketball schedule. We have decided to play a lot of competitive basketball teams that are AAA basketball teams, because if we want to go where we say we want to go, these are the type teams we have to compete against. Stan Jacobs, I believe, led that basketball team that evening to a win against a top 5 Siegel team that had many guys that went to the Division I level. We hope to do the same thing. Coach Stan and Coach Andy were 2 guys that taught me to play hard and do it the right way, and we hope we're doing the same things with our young men.
All right. Well, Coach, we thank you for coming by and talking with us. Best of luck the rest of the way to the Pioneers.
Jay, we appreciate it, and like I said, we thank our fans, all our student section. Can't wait to get on the floor every time we get the opportunity to do it in front of them.
That's Coach Chris Sullins, head coach of the Warren County Pioneer men's team, getting ready to take on Siegel as we tape this. And that's going to wrap it up for this edition of the Warren County Coaches Show. I'm Jay Walker. We'll see you next time.
Programming on WCS-TV is brought to you in part by a donation from the Middle Tennessee Dr. Pepper Bottling Company, serving McMinnville and Warren County since 1938.
Programming on WCS-TV is brought to you in part by a donation from Bridgestone. Bridgestone, your journey, our passion.